G'day everybody, this is Jacko from Music Nation TV. Welcome back to the channel, good to have you here. Today I'm going to talk about a bundle of world-class plugins which is included for free with Reaper, the Reaper DAW. You may or may not have heard about them, and I'm going to draw your attention to a few that I would use if I were to use plugins, and see if I can convince you to start using them because they're very, very good. I've said previous on other videos, and I stick by this, I don't use plugins if I can avoid it inside the DAW. It's because I use an external mixing console and I do my mixing there. But I understand not everybody has this, so you want to have some plugins, of course, to use. But I would highly recommend as a composer not really to use plugins to do surgical things, right? Use them for musical reasons, right? Just to, you know, to add character or to kind of add like a certain kind of tone that you're looking for and things like that, right? You do you, but that's just how I approach it. But if you were to use plugins, don't go out buying plugins because Reaper has an insane amount of them included for free. So let's have a look at Reaper here. On any slot here, you can just click and you come to the JS section, and here we have all of these plugins. Now I know what you're thinking. If you've used Reaper before, you know about these JS plugins and you're thinking, ugh, they're pretty ugly, and I do agree. They are very rudimentary, and this is kind of the benefit of them. They're based on their own language, which you can actually get in there and script yourself, right? So it's a very, very powerful language. But the proof is not in the looks. They perform extremely well. So I'm just going to kind of go over a few that I've favorited as ones that I would definitely recommend. And this is this bunch here. So let's maybe just go through this lot, and I'll show you what we've got to play with here, and see if I can convince you to have a look at these. So first off, the 1175 compressor. Here it is here. Let me just drag it there. Yes, it's a little on the ugly side. I do agree. But let me just did I have this? Yes, I've just got a drum beat running here in the background that should just play. Yes, it does. Okay. Sorry, this can be a little bit annoying. I just wanted to have like some kind of music we can have, so we can have it kind of affecting the plugin here. So it's just a drum beat. I'm just going to bring it down a touch in volume. I feel drums is a pretty good kind of, you know, instrument to use to demonstrate, particularly compressors. So looking at this one here, right, the 1175 is clearly copied off the 1175. We have threshold, ratios, as you'd expect to see on that, including the all button, gain, attack, release, mix, exactly like you see on the real 1176, and it sounds quite nice. Listen to this. Let's crank it up just a touch. Bring the threshold back. Increase the gain. I mean, it hits quite nicely, right? Ratio 4, let's bring the ratio up to 12. And it's nice. Like a really slow attack. I mean, I don't have a real 1176 in the studio, so I can't do an exact apples-to-apples comparison. I do have some plugins from reviews. In fact, let's just kind of bring in something which is kind of close. IK Multimedia has an 1176. There it is right there. So this would be a comparison, 1176. Let's. I don't know how you're going to even compare these two. It's not really something that you can kind of do on the fly, but let's have a listen to the 4-pin attack. It's pretty cool. So bring this threshold back. I think I was pushing about that, something like that. Turn that one off, turn the other one back on. So this is the Reaper one. You know, oh, it's running 12. Oh yeah, that ratio is 12. Yep. It's almost exactly the same to me. This is black. Slight difference in the attack. I think I had the attack pretty... Oh no, it's about the same. Oh, release is full on release. It's pretty close, right? Oh, that release makes a big difference. There's the release on this one. 1,000. I mean, you'd have to, you know, you can get it pretty close, but boy, you'd have to be really fine-tuned, I think, to kind of pick up the difference. And this is an expensive plugin. This is a $300 plugin, right? So let's just leave that one off, and then I'll just move that up just a touch. So that's, yeah, that's the 1175. That's quite nice. Let's turn that one off and bring in one of the other ones I was looking at. The Event Horizon, right? So this is it's a limiter, and it limits. Ceiling back and really push it. Not bad, eh? Not bad at all. So that's quite cool. Event Horizon, there's some of these which are based on Stillwell plugins. If you understand Stillwell stuff, it's really nice. Stillwell has some kind of connection with Reaper. I don't know what it is, but they helped design them or something, I'd imagine. Big booty bass enhancer. This one's quite nice. It's like the Ultra Maximizer. So bring full mix and then you just bring up the drive. Really punchy, eh? Off. Yeah, that's quite cool. I really like that. Let's turn that one off. What else we got here? Louderizer. It's just basically the same thing. Full mix and bring up the drive. It's more high end. But nothing here sounds harsh or kind of, you know, cheap. Louderizer. What else did I have? Major Tom. Major Tom is a really nice compressor from Stillwell. I don't think it's copied off anything. It's their own design, but you can see the gain reduction here on the channel, by the way. That's just the way Reaper works. Ratio, say 2:1. See the gain compressions over here. Soft knee. That'll do. So there we go. So that's really pumping. Go 4:1. Pretty nice, eh? Pretty nice. And that's a very, very extreme levels here we're talking. Yeah, I like that one a lot. That's the Major Tom. Oh, what else did I have here? Moog. Oh, this is cool. This is just a filter, but the Moog filters in this are beautiful. Using a low pass filter here. Let's bring the resonance up a bit. Listen to this. Just buttery smooth. Bring the resonance up, a little bit of drive. It is apparently a Moog 4-pole filter. We can go high pass. Pretty extreme dry resonance, but just so smooth. See, I would challenge you to find a better sounding professional one, plugin. Of course, professional stuff's going to look a lot nicer, so I would definitely grant you that. M36 equalizer. Ratio 4:1, attack. Pretty slow attack, release pretty long. Threshold back. Let's try this. Very, very slow. makeup gain, sorry, there. 6 dB, yeah, something like that. And it's got this tilt EQ, which is really nice. So we'd say work on the lower end. But there's nothing that jumps out as me as being harsh or kind of cheap, thin sounding, right? All this stuff sounds very, very nice, especially the filters I really, really like. Let's see, 1136, turn that one off. This is really cool, the next two, the saturators. This one here is more like a mixing console saturation, so it's very subtle, but it's lovely. That's basically it. Off, on. Use this to get, if you run this one on every single track, you're going to get like a faux kind of analog mixing console thing. You wouldn't run 100%, you'd run maybe 20-30% in here somewhere, which is very hard to hear just on one channel, but when you're running a bunch of tracks, it's really, really nice. It's the saturator. And then finally the wave distortion. Oops, wrong thing, turn you off. It's the exact same thing, it's just much more intense. I won't drive past there. But this would be like on your console when you really drive the inputs, right? So you can get it, like if you run the saturation and the wave shaping and we're careful with them, you're going to get like a really nice vintage console sound. But nothing, you know what I mean? Nothing sounds really harsh and yucky. Pretty cool, right? But what I really want to draw your attention to, and I hope I'm correct here, because it was when I checked last time, if you look at the performance here, let's have a look at the performance meter. I'll just bring this down here. Okay, so we're running 11 effects. Currently everything's turned off. If you look at this list of plugins here inside Reaper, that when it's like yellow, that means it's not working. It's bypassed completely. So we'll see the only thing working is the Reaper, beg your pardon, Reason drum machine at the top here. So this is chewing up 0.32% of the effects DSP available, DSP there. Right, 0.38 just by itself. Now if I bring in the black 76, that's this one here, that's the only thing running. It's going up to 1.2, 1.3, out there, 1.2. That's fine, nothing wrong with that. 1.2 from, effectively it's 1 because the Reason's using 0.3, right? But 1.3 for just a single effect. Let's turn that off and we should drop down to 0.3 again. Cool. Now, watch this. Let's bring all of these back in. Every single one. So they're now all on. Effects 1.1. It's slightly less running all of these plugins than one plugin from IK Multimedia. And IK Multimedia stuff I think is pretty efficient. I think if you were to run some really high-end stuff, it'll be a lot harder than that. So you can see we can, for the same amount of DSP, we're getting so much more stuff. So extrapolate this over your entire mix, it's effectively going to be nothing, right? Who runs this many effects? Maybe you do. Maybe you have a compressor and EQ on every track. There's some really nice reverbs in here, delay, all the things you expect, right? I just pulled out some, dynamic processors because it works well with the drums, But you could have, say, 3 or 4 kind of tasty little effects on every single track, and I would say effectively not even notice it. Yet if you were to do the same thing running SSL stuff or Neve or anything kind of high, you need awesome power. And can you tell the difference? I don't know. I think it's the age-old argument. Can you tell the difference between digital and analog? Even then, I don't know. Can you tell the difference between a digital and a digital? 2 different plugins. I think it comes down to the developers who built it, how they kind of measured everything and how they kind of set it up. To my ears, it sounds very, very similar. Certainly not enough to warrant spending a whole bunch of money and DSP just to run them. And as I said before, I challenge you not to use effects anyway, other than just broad stroke stuff, right? So you don't need ultra realism. It doesn't need to be exactly like a 1959 Neve or something, you know. It's just something that compresses, or something that EQs, or something that does what you needed to do to get the sound. So there we go. If you can handle the Jandal, I understand they look like garbage, but you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I quite appreciate this style, this Windows 95 kind of faders and stuff, and it looks utilitarian. I understand exactly what it's doing. I mean, the skeuomorphic kind of things like this, sure, they're pretty, but the thing is, every single one has a different look, and you got to kind of get your head around how they work, and they're more designed based on their real counterparts as opposed to how a computer works, you know. So yeah, they look pretty, no problem with that, but you know, I think you could learn to love these. Well, I do, because this is what I use. So have a go with that. If you're using Reaper, even if you're not using Reaper, download Reaper. You can get a basically unlimited trial, like, you know, you can use it forever, it doesn't care. And have a go with the JS plugins. And there's quite literally, I was going to say 1,000 of them in there, but I don't think there's 1,000, but boy, there's a lot. There is a lot of stuff in here to play with them. A lot. Some of it's kind of a little bit junky, like, not junky, like, you know, over the things you'd probably never use. A lot of it's MIDI based. Some really good MIDI stuff in there, but a lot of it's extremely good. Extremely good. Like I said, there's reverbs and delays and choruses and all that kind of good stuff too. So this is all part of it, and it's free, it's included. And you can actually get into the code and recode it for your own needs. You could even code your own plugin if you want to. So neat stuff. I'll just quickly show you how that works. Like on every plugin here, you'll see there's an edit button. If you click the edit, you go into the actual code. So I'm not suggesting everybody does this, but this is how open the structure is, right? You can just get in there, learn how to code in this, and start writing up your own plugins. So there we go. That's today's video. So thanks so much for joining. Hope you can take something out of this and give the JS plugins a try. Challenge me, man. Find one that sounds bad, and I don't think you'll be able to. They're all pretty nice. So anyway, that's been cool. This has been Jacko from Music Nation TV. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video. Okay, take care. Bye.